Fenway Park, and I sat behind home plate raised up, and a ball came very fast and hit right in between my seat and my brother's seat and bounced right back off. So those are the closest instances I've had to a foul ball. But they're coming out with a new app. I actually saw you tweet about this, Chris.
Yes.
Coming out with a new app that shows the best places to sit in a ballpark for foul balls. So that's pretty cool.
Ideal seat. Yeah, I'm having trouble with it. I might try to delete it and reload it, but yeah, that's certainly an interesting app, and I'm definitely going to use that.
Yeah, okay, on to our first loser. It's minor league manager Joe McCulloch. He manages the Myrtle Beach Pelicans of the Class A Advanced Carolina League, Texas Rangers affiliate. McCulloch, during a game last week, argued with a call of a home run ball that was called fair. To protest, he took the third base bag and put it right next to the dugout to show the umpires where he believed the ball was. And this is actually not the first time McCulloch has had a problem. Just a few weeks ago, on August 18th, against the Salem Red Sox, McCulloch argued a call at the plate and decided to slide into home plate twice while arguing, then took off his jersey and shoes, left them at the plate, and walked back into the dugout. So definitely a, energetic minor league manager, to put it at least.
Yeah, I'm laughing just thinking about the videos. He's an entertainer. I'll give him that. He is an entertainer. So anyway, I'm sure that's not the last we'll hear of Joe McCulloch. So if we have any more meltdowns, right here, we'll let you know. So anyway, on to our second winner, Jorge Soler, the young prospect for the Chicago Cubs. In his first 8 MLB games, he is 12 for 30, 3 homers, 11 ribbies, and he is not the first Cubs prospect to catch fire since being called up to the big show this season. They've got Javier Baez. Anthony Rizzo is not a call-up, but he's definitely having a breakout year, as well as Jay Garrietta. Miles, do you think Jorge Soler could be part of a Cubs core that propels them to the playoffs anytime soon?
If Jorge Soler is healthy, he will be an all-star. That's all I have to say about this matter. He is supremely talented and very, very good. He just needs to stay healthy. He's struggled with injuries his whole career. For people who don't know, he got a Yasiel Puig type contract, about 7 years, $42 million. So he's going to have to live up to it, but so far, he has been pretty darn good. Moving on to our second loser, Toronto Blue Jays had an 86% chance to make the playoffs on June 5th. Today, it's down to 2%, and the reason why? They've won just 9 of 26 in the month of August. They won 9 in the last 10 days of July alone, and despite having won 3 of 4 in September, have fallen to 3rd in the AL East and 6th in the wildcard standings. As I said, 2% chance to make the playoffs. What happened to the Blue Jays this year, Chris?
Well, I think, honestly, it was an inevitable collapse. I know Batista was dealing with injuries at one point. Their pitching definitely had a little bit of a drop-off. But it was a lot of hitting issues, I think, more than anything. Other than Encarnacion, I can't think of anyone who's been really supreme. Obviously Batista and Encarnacion, guys that have really stood out. So, the Blue Jays, I was predicting it since May. They're going to fall. Eventually they did. But one guy I find interesting, Marcus Stroman. He's definitely a name to keep an eye on. He's been hot of late. And if he keeps up what he's doing, watch out for him on the winners and losers list. But speaking of pitchers, a pitcher is who we have at our third winner, starter Jake Peavy, one of my personal favorite guys in the league. He's 4-4 with a 2.36 ERA since leaving my Red Sox to go to the San Francisco Giants via a trade. He was 1-9 with a 4.72 ERA in Boston. Miles, this is the second consecutive year that he's been traded to a crap team to a contending team for the postseason. So Jake Peavy, he's getting lucky, and personally, I hope him and the Giants the best.
Yeah, definitely. Peavy's been a great starter over his career, so hopefully it's good that he turned it around since leaving Boston. On to our final loser, Johnny Venters was an all-star just 3 seasons ago. Now he's getting surgery, Tommy John surgery, for the 3rd time. This is tough. I mean, once is a lot. Twice, 3 times Tommy John surgery? I don't know if he's definitely a non-tender candidate. For those who don't know what that means. It means they wouldn't offer him arbitration in the offseason. But, I mean, 3 Tommy John surgeries? That's insane. I mean, the guy really, he doesn't even throw that hard, so I can't really think of any explanation. What do you think?
It's tough to see that. He's one of those guys that showed potential, and I remember Venters and Kimbrel in 2011. That was that 1-2 punch that was at the top of baseball. And 3 years later, Craig Kimbrel is still a star of the league, and Johnny Venters, I mean, who is that? I forgot who he is. No, not really, but he's just fell off the radar, in all truth. He got worse season by season. I remember 2012 was awful. His ERA was somewhere up in the 5s or 6s, and he has pitched just less and less then. But, yeah, tough to see for him. So, Miles, I know you normally follow the winners and losers segments with your prospect watch, but since the minor league playoffs are coming around, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, 3 leagues have finished up. 3 United States leagues, not talking about the Venezuelan or Dominican summer leagues, have finished up their seasons, so going to recap those. The Gulf Coast League, Red Sox defeated the Yankees 1 in a 3-game set. In Game 3, Rusney Castillo started for the Red Sox, went 0 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. Other notable prospects, Rafael Devers went 1 for 5, Michael Chavis went 1 for 3 with a 3-run home run, and Red Sox pitcher Jake Cosart, a 3rd-round pick in this year's draft, 3 innings, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts for the Gulf Coast League Red Sox as they win the best-of-3 series over the Yankees. And then, in the Appalachian League, Johnson City Cardinals, a Cardinals affiliate as you might guess, defeated the Danville Braves, also a Braves affiliate as you might guess. And the winning pitcher for Johnson City, Dalen Martinez, 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 Ks for the Cardinals. Notable prospect Oscar Mercado went 1 for 3. And for the Danville Braves, Tanner Kreitmeyer went 2 for 4 as the Braves fell. And then in the Arizona League, the AZL Indians jumped on the Giants, scoring 12 runs in the 6th inning to defeat them 14-0 in the championship game. Bobby Bradley, a 3rd-round pick out of a Mississippi high school, went 2 for 5. Every player in the lineup got a hit. Yu Cheng had 4 hits and 5 at-bats, and Chao Ching Chiang had 5 strikeouts over 5 shutout innings with 3 hits allowed. And first-round pick Justice Sheffield pitched an inning of relief, striking out 2. So yeah, that's all we've got for the minor league playoffs roundup. Now Chris will tell us his series to watch for this coming week.
Well, Miles, Monday through Wednesday, I know we're talking about the AL Central a little bit earlier in the show. The Royals and the Tigers will square off for a 3-game set Monday, September 8th, which is in 2 days, through Wednesday, September 10th at Comerica Park in Detroit. That'll include 3 of the 6 remaining games they have to play against each other this year. That's a huge series, as right now the Royals 2 games up on the Tigers. They will need to avoid a sweep to keep their lead in the division. Guthrie, Vargas, and Shields going for the Royals in the first 3 games. For the Tigers, it'll be Verlander, Scherzer, and Porcello. The starting times 4:08, 7:08. Then Wednesday night, it will be on ESPN at 7. Miles, what's your series to watch for this week?
It's an AL West matchup, Oakland at Seattle, this weekend, Friday through Sunday. These 2 teams fighting for a playoff spot. Surprisingly, you would have thought Oakland would have had it locked up, but no, they're still fighting. So both of these teams still have a ways to go coming up for this huge series. And now on to our probables for tomorrow, Sunday, September 7th. We've got a lot of good games on hand. Scott Carroll starts for the White Sox as they face Carlos Carrasco and the Indians. Kansas City faces off against the New York Yankees. Yordano Ventura faces Shane Green. Atlanta visits Miami for the final game of the series. Julio Teheran faces Brad Hand. Zach Wheeler and Matt Latos face off for the Mets and Reds, respectively. Cole Hamels faces Gio Gonzalez for the Phillies and Nationals, respectively. And R.A. Dickey and Ruby De La Rosa face off in Toronto, Boston. Baltimore and Tampa Bay will go at it. Bud Norris and Jeremy Hellickson, your projected starters. The Twins have not announced a starter against tomorrow's game against the LA Angels. C.J. Wilson listed as the probable for Los Angeles. St. Louis takes on Milwaukee. Promising Jimmy Nelson starts for Milwaukee. St. Louis goes with NL Cy Young candidate Adam Wainwright. Pittsburgh, after coming off a doubleheader win today, faces Chicago Cubs tomorrow. Garrett Cole faces Travis Wood. Promising youngster James Paxton starts for Seattle as they face Texas Rangers in a game under new management. Derek Holland makes his second start of the year for Texas. Houston faces Oakland. Dallas Keuchel and Jason Hamill, your predicted starters in that one. The Dodgers face off against the Diamondbacks. Trevor Cahill gets the ball for Arizona. Zach Greinke for the Dodgers. Another NL West matchup, San Diego at Colorado. Tyson Ross and Franklin Morales, your starters for that one. And then Kyle Lobstein gets the ball for Detroit as they face off in a big series against Tim Hudson and the Giants. So that's about going to do it. All we have the time for this one today, guys. We want to thank you all for watching. And, of course, coming towards the end of the season, shows might be a little bit more sporadic. But definitely next season we'll get back into them on a weekly basis. But thank you guys for being with us through all of this. We got our first two callers today who happen to be two friends of mine. But, it's still fine to get a bunch of callers. So be sure to listen to all the great shows on Infinity Sports Network. Just a few plugs. You can follow me on Twitter at TheRealMPEJ. And you can follow my blog for all things prospects at prospecttalk.weebly.com. Thank you guys for listening. Chris, how about yourself?
You can follow me on Twitter at CCG617. That's all caps, at CCG617. I know week after week I've been mentioning that I'll be writing articles for my school newspaper, and I'll try to get those on a blog. I haven't gotten it up yet, but it would most likely be on Tumblr, so keep an eye out for that. And like Miles said, definitely check out all the great shows on Infinity Sports Network. There's definitely anything. If you're just a general sports fan, if you're a soccer fan, football, anything, and don't be afraid to listen. Our next show will be sometime, we'll figure it out, but stay with us. We'll definitely post on our Facebook and Twitter page when our next show will be. Anything else?
Nope, that's going to be about it. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll leave you with this.